Talking about milk and cashews, Quincy?
Milk and cashews. I just happen to like them. That's just a tasty snack. Okay, all over the world. Pickles. No.
So you think Captain Caveman?
He would eat the carpet. I'm gonna have to call it a name and draw. Soap on a rope? No, sir. I never heard of it. Like, Well, actually, maybe I've seen soap on a rope. Ridiculous. Maybe old school, but name would not Bill Cosby's name. People have a different desire.
Captain App.
Hands on, like, if the burger's fried or boiled. How would you know this? Oh, they're yucky cookies? Sometimes you can mix them with Cheez-Its.
Where did that come from?
Punch the clown. Holy Toledo, my man.
You're not going to start a world war here.
But
that's what I don't want to do. That's one of those things. I know. I never really even gave that a thought.
Been hitting the milk too hard, I think.
All right. Oh, sure. Okay. Well, again,
without further ado, Quincy Briscoe!
You can keep your wine and cheese. They give me the blues. You want to help? Hand me the milk and cashews.
I never said that I was being used. I'm doing right with my milk and cashews.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the hostess with the mostest, Quincy Briscoe.
How we doing?
What's going on, Quince?
Oh, not much. Look, I heard somebody mention that as I entered just now, someone likes Bumblebee.
Bumblebee? Bumblebee tuna? Or
Yeah.
Let's see, fish in the sea, is it not?
What, maybe South Boston Jeff can enlighten us. What's Bumblebee?
Are you talking about the Transformer Bumblebee? Because in the last episode, we asked what would be our favorite Transformer, the name. What would be the perfect Transformer name for you, Quincy? And we forgot to say Bumblebee, right?
Yeah. Maybe that, but
because there's a magic word that makes you become a bumblebee, but we're not going to mention it right now.
No.
We won't do that. But we have an extensive mailbag of questions for you, Quincy, that came into us from your Twitter page, which is @MilkandCashews.
I'll try to answer them the best we can.
All right. That's all we ask.
Our first question came from a Whole Foods employee in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and they are wondering, Quincy, what are your feelings on vegan food? What do you think about vegan food, the vegan food diet, and do you have any thoughts?
Well, okay. What is vegan food? First of all, I have to get a little bit about what vegan food is.
Vegan food.
Well, what is it? You have to tell me a little bit about what this is.
I think it's everything that isn't meat. Everything that's not meat is vegan.
Oh, is a good friend of mine.
Yes.
I think it's like a vegetarian diet.
Okay, so a good friend of mine that I was just having supper with earlier tonight. So in other words, it's vegetarian meat, vegetarian foods.
I believe it is mostly vegetarian foods, but in fact, I think it's almost a lifestyle adoption where you don't use any animal products at all. I could be wrong about that, but I'm not sure.
I never had it, but
maybe the panel has some thoughts on this.
Well, Quincy, I recently converted, well, not fully converted to veganism because, I have a little health scare that I have to take care of. And, so basically, Jeff kind of nailed it on the head over there. It's no meat products and Harvard Mike over there, or any animal products whatsoever.
That's, I guess the only thing I could tell you is like some people... There are some people who like that kind of food all their lives, but on the other hand, you just enter that kind of lifestyle.
Well, you saw the smoothie I had a little while ago. It had strawberries, kale, and peanut butter and spring water.
Well, you've always liked that kind of beverage, but like again, if you like that kind of thing, that's good. But on the other hand, if the doctor says that's all you can eat, then it works out two ways of one. If you always liked it, but if the doctor says...
I didn't always like it. I liked, double quarter pounders with cheese from McDonald's and chicken nuggets and all that other stuff, but I can't have those there anymore.
Oh,
So I have double vegan burgers now with onions and mustard.
Are there any particular vegan foods you like, Quincy?
I never had vegan food. I never really had a vegetarian... burger. I never really had anything like that before.
Well, I can tell you milk is not on the vegan diet.
That's good, so I could have milk.
No, you can't.
Oh.
If you were.
But
then I would be miserable.
You would be.
Cashews would be, I think, approved, though. I could be wrong, but they're a nut like you, Quincy, so I think they'd be okay.
Yeah, well, I would find it very hard for a guy like me to eat vegetarian foods and beverages.
Well, being that you just sucked down a steak tip sub and milk, I would say that vegans around the world are, rolling around in their tofu.
Tofu, now what is that, meat?
No,
I take it.
there's no meat in vegan, Quincy. You can't have any meat.
Okay, now tofu, is that in the same line of vegetarian?
Yes.
Oh, then
Tofu is like chicken. It can go in anything.
What do you think tofu is like?
again, I heard of tofu, but I never really ate it. But on the other hand, I wouldn't know what it contains. So
It contains toe and foo.
toe and foo.
Right. All right, next question.
I never heard of it, but that.
Well, this takes us to another question from our good friend Jim on Revere Beach.
Uh-oh,
He-
Jim.
Oh, okay.
He raises the question. I think he was at Kelly's when he was sending this question in, but his thoughts are: do you have a favorite sandwich?
Ooh, favorite sandwich.
From you're down at Revere Beach?
Or anywhere.
Well, any your favorite sandwich in general is fine.
Well, as my gentleman said just now, steak tips. if you can only have one flavored sandwich to drink and one flavored beverage to eat, milk and steak tips. That is my all-time top favorite.
That is your favorite sandwich of all time, a steak tip sandwich.
Yes,
And other than onions, what else you want to put on the steak tip sandwich?
salt.
So, salt. Okay, it's maybe you should go vegan, Quince.
I would find that very hard to do.
I think you would, but definitely.
What about South Boston Jeff? Does he have a favorite sandwich?
Well, I like the steak and cheese sub from Melrose House of Pizza is excellent, but I would have to say, the like a steak tip sandwich. There's a few spots in South Boston that make an excellent steak tip sandwich, but just give me a regular, and I can whip up a hell of a pastrami on rye. You just buy some pastrami, the red pastrami from the local supermarket. Just boil that up, and you're all set. But yeah, I like a steak.
But to the fans down in Revere, let's not forget what's known down there is roast beef.
Kelly's roast beef, baby.
I guess now again I can't play favorites, but I guess what's been known down there, if you're down at the beach, it's next to the beach, isn't that
It's
right?
right across the street.
He's on the beach even.
There you go. So that's an all season kind of thing, but especially summertime, because when the beach is open, something like Revere Beach.
Well, Kelly's never closes. It's open all year round except on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
There you go. So they're kind of a good thing, all season.
And they're open till 3 in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning. What more could one ask for?
24 hours?
But you need a miracle worker.
A miracle worker. So Scotty from Star Trek needs to open up a Kelly's.
There you
roast
go.
beef. Hey, Harvard Mike, what is your favorite sandwich?
I would have to go with a what I refer to as a GD chicken sandwich, which would be I'll just say a GD chicken sandwich, and on it I'd put mayo, lettuce, onions, and pickles.
A GD chicken sandwich.
A goddamn chicken sandwich, in fact, is what we call it. My one of my elders would once he'd go through the drive-through at Burger King, and he would get frustrated with the speaker. And he would start to yell into the speaker and say, "I just want a goddamn chicken sandwich." And I was about 4 years old at the time, and after that I referred to chicken sandwiches as the goddamn chicken sandwich, which I think somebody had to explain to me isn't how we should speak, but there it is anyway.
But I see what you mean. Yeah. Well, some people in the fast food business, they got to learn, but they need training, just like anything else. So give them the right kind of training, and they can go on microphones even. But some of us, you may notice, have the gift to go on microphones and cameras.
It's true.
We don't all have the gift you do, Quincy. That's true.
To watch TV and listen to radio, and that's I have the gift for that. That's a lot of fun. It just happens to be a talent I have. And chicken sandwiches. Well, okay. What else? Is there anything else?
Well, I'm going to give you my favorite sandwich of all time. My favorite sandwich of all time, without question. If you live in the North Shore of Boston, Massachusetts, there's a little roast beef joint called Billy's Roast Beef. But I don't have the Billy's Roast Beef sandwich, even though the Billy's Roast Beef sandwich is outstanding. I wish I could have them once again. But Billy's makes, without question, the greatest fried haddock sandwich of all time. You got to have it with extra tartar sauce and pickles. I cannot have these ever again, but I will have one on my birthday or Christmas or whatever. But that is, without question, my favorite sandwich of all time.
That's a tough sandwich debate when it comes to bumblebee, but then haddock is that's a real nice treat.
It is.
And as long as we're talking about seafood, let's not forget clam chowder. Now, there are some people who love clam chowder with oyster crackers. That's a nice treat for those who love...
Can you really put clam chowder in a sandwich, though?
No, I didn't say we'd put it in a sandwich, but it's the second all-time favorite in seafood. At least for me it is.
Okay.
Haddock and clam chowder with oyster crackers.
There you go.
Where would you get your favorite clam chowder around here? Do you have a favorite place or
Almost anywhere at all. Again, I can't play favorites, but you could get clam chowder almost any good restaurant, anywhere at all.
Well, there's different styles of clam chowder as well. You have New England clam chowder. You have, I believe, New York has a particular
Manhattan.
version. Manhattan is, yes.
It's
exactly.
disgusting.
There's thicker and thinner clam chowders, right?
Well, do you like the thick white clam chowder or the runny, snotty clam chowder?
White clam chowder.
Yeah, okay.
So what would that be?
That would be New England.
Okay, New England clam chowder. Okay, that it's a nice treat with oyster crackers. White, thick, just it's a real nice, hearty meal, every now and then.
How many packets of oyster crackers do you use typically?
Oh, if it coming from a restaurant, I would say about maybe 3 or 4. Got to have come on now, oyster crackers. It's like a nut and bolt with clam chowder.
One might ask the question: are you having oyster crackers with your chowder, or are you having chowder with your oyster crackers?
Either way, call it what you will.
In fact, I saw you bought your big bag of oyster crackers earlier today.
With 2 cans of clam chowder, because I plan on taking that to some good people. Tonight. We're all going to have clam chowder. We're all in for a treat.
There you go.
And because I just have, I decided, it's time for some clam chowder.
It is. It's been a long winter.
Well, clam chowder, it's good for the winter and for the summer, any season. But let alone, I think like for the winter, it just warms it up like a cream of tomato soup. Just brings it out in you.
That's fantastic. All right, that's the next question there, Mikey.
Now, bringing us to the subject of seafood actually leads us quite nicely into our next question, and that is, if you were stranded on a desert island, and you could only... This is a 2-part question. You could bring one thing with you and one person.
One thing.
What and who would it be?
How long would it be on the island for?
15 years.
Oh, Jesus. Like Gilligan here. First of all, I suppose I'd have to be like the professor, because the brains.
So who would you bring, and what item would you bring, and what person would you bring on the island with you to keep you company?
I suppose a lovely girl.
Who would that be?
I don't know. What would be like an island girl? Island girl, like Elton John would say. Island girl.
He's not bringing any.
But I'm having a little fun.
He would not be bringing an island girl.
I know, but it's a song I got from Elton John.
He like Gilligan's coconuts.
I don't like coconuts. I never really had coconuts. I would have to say
you might
coconut cream pie. Okay, because if I'm going to be... Because that's the one all-time treat that
that's what you would bring
Why,
on the
why
island?
would you?
is a
Why
coconut
would
cream
you bring
pie?
that if there are coconuts on the island where you are stuck? Wouldn't you want to bring something else?
Oh, okay. If I'm all right, one thing, but okay, milk. And but I'd have to. But there's no
Actually,
electricity to keep the milk cold though.
So you bring a cow.
Okay, and I had to learn how to milk the cow.
But you could have coconut milk on the island as well.
Which is vegan, by the way.
Yeah, but how different is coconut milk than
Well,
regular?
it's different, but would you want to waste your one thing on milk? Wouldn't you want to bring something else?
Let me think here.
South Boston Jeff, do you have any thoughts on this matter?
Well, I watch a lot of Naked and Afraid, so I would probably the item I would probably bring would be something to start a fire with, or something like that, a fire starter or a big machete, and I got a big machete.
And it's
So-
signed by
How do you start fires with a machete?
Well, that's a very good question, but no, you can't start fire with the machete.
Didn't you bring a magnifying glass?
Yeah, you could, and as a matter of fact, you wouldn't need to, Quincy, because your glasses could magnify the sun and start a fire.
Yeah, well, that's old school style. Like people who do this for a living do it, who know how to do that. But on the other hand, bring a 15 years worth of book of matches and lighter fluid. Okay, because if you're gonna do this,
How many matches would actually be in a 15-year supply? Like one per day? Like what if you strike one and it goes out?
well, okay, let's see, wood matches or cardboard matches. Let's say like you're allowed a 15-year book of lifetime. You're allowed to use.
Okay,
one-
Quincy, that would be 5,475 matches you would need to bring with you.
For 15 years, that doesn't seem like enough to me.
Okay, let's say. Okay, let's tack on. You're allowed to use one book a day to allow the times if you have trouble lighting a match. So let's tack on. You're allowed to use one book a day because you have a hard time lighting matches. So can you calculate that in on your little pocket calculator? How?
Actually, no, I can't because I failed math, but that's a good question. All right, so you would bring a book of matches. Now,
A
what
15-year.
okay, now what person are you bringing on the island with you? Who?
A girl that would know all about how to do this kind of thing.
Who? Just some random pyromaniac that you met on the street?
If I was gonna
fire starter.
If I was going to do that, not that I have any intentions on living on an island 15 years, but I'd have to get someone experienced that knows how to live on the island, that knows how to cook, who knows how to do this.
So basically, you want Mary Ann.
So the Marianne the Ginger, I guess, because
I'd go towards Mary Ann, even these days. Even these days. But,
Because,
she's pushing almost 80 these days, but she's still very doable.
And you asked her to get high one time.
Oh, no, I offered her some medicine, I said, hey, you've turned me on so many times over the years, I thought I'd return the favor, and I tried to handle her. She was like, oh, no, thank you, because I don't want to be, like, at this convention, like, all, duh. So I'm like, oh, well understood, baby, but yeah.
All right, well, okay, there you go. All right, Jeff, you're on an island for 15 years. What item are you going to bring, and what person are you going to bring?
Okay, I will probably, well, I would have to say I would probably bring an operating flamethrower. That would be my item because that's all you need for fire. I wouldn't waste my time with matches or a lighter. Might as well go right to the flamethrower.
what does that run off of, though? Flamethrowers? Does it run off of propane? Does it run off of a...
I don't know.
What is this? You press a button. What is that? Could you tell me what that runs off of? A flamethrower.
We're getting into specifics here. Really, we don't need to
We
know.
really, like I would, I
Who
would hope and
manufactured it?
expect that, whoever would produce me the flamethrower would also produce me with some fuel to operate it.
Okay, because if you're going to get a flamethrower, you have to get 15 years worth of fuel to operate this.
That's a good question. That's good. All right, moving on from the flamethrower. What person you bringing on the island?
Well, I have a crush on this supermodel named Sandra Olson.
From Greece. Okay.
No. Well, actually, was that Sandy's name in Greece?
Yeah.
Olson was her last name?
Yep.
He would know. I have no idea.
He is an expert.
You know what I want? Ooh.
Ooh, the one I want, oh, honey. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
All right, there you go. Harvard Mikey there.
Well, I am going to answer this in reverse order, and I would bring my wife with me, and I think that solves that. And for the thing I would bring, I'm going to think a little outside the box here, and I'm going to go with a cruise ship.
A cruise ship?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to get off the island, right?
That's the idea, isn't it?
Right. Well, there you go. Unbelievable down there. All right, for me, what would I going to bring on this island? Well, first and foremost, I would, let's see here. Probably, other than the obvious, a boat to get out of there, but I would bring like 15 years supply of water, fresh water.
Well, no, this water, okay, that's it. Brings me a good
Well,
question.
I would figure that
can't
all
drink
you
the
would
water
need is a
that's-
purifier.
You can't drink all,
Okay,
any of
how
that
about
water?
ocean?
And where am I plugging that in?
You cannot drink that water.
No shit. That's why I'm bringing fresh water. I can't drink ocean water. I know that. I'm going to bring in like fresh water
It's
so you
a
can
good
survive.
move in my book.
So where you going to store all this fresh water?
In bottles. I don't know. He's bringing a flamethrower.
I'm bringing a cruise ship.
And a
He
cruise
can
ship.
bring the water. Why not?
Yeah, okay, let me add then. If I was not, again, I would not have any intentions, but I would have to have money to buy a ship and to store.
Yeah, but money means nothing on an island.
Yeah, that's true, other than Thurston Howell III, but
Yeah, okay.
but providing, like you said, that we get off the island after the 3-hour tour, after 15 years, we're fine, we're good.
Providing I get a flamethrower and torch half the island, a cruise ship, probably Mike's cruise ship, is going to see me from very far away. And I'll get right off
I
the island.
suppose.
We'll come pick you up, Jeff.
Well, if you lit an island on fire, I'm sure the satellites would see that from space.
Oh, yeah, they'd be have a bone to pick with me, wouldn't they?
Well, then you can they come down and give you a ration of crab. You can say, listen, I've been stranded here. I needed a way off the island. You saw my signal fire. Rescue me.
Yeah.
It's all
boat would have
reasonable.
to. Well, again, if you have a boat, then you have a way off the island.
There you go. Okay, cool.
That's why I teach. Yes.
Who am I bringing with me on the island? That's a good question down there. There's so many to choose from.
But you would probably go with that Wendy Wickham girl that you like, wouldn't you?
I don't think her family or her husband would approve of that, Jeff. But you're on the
This is
right
a
line.
fantasy.
I would bring Rey from Star Wars. You know why? A,
Because-
she's good looking. B, she's got a lightsaber that we could have a campfire with a lightsaber, and she could just use the Force and float us off.
That's true.
There you
I
go.
mean, that's why I was thinking for Drew Barrymore, because A, she was in Firestarter when she was a kid, and then B, she grew up and became fine in Charlie's Angels. And maybe she can. She was also in E.T.
Yeah, she could call E.T. Listen,
she
listen.
could.
We helped you phone home. Phone me the hell off this rock.
I think the three of you might be stuck.
No, I'm going to float away with a Jedi. I'm all set.
I think you hope she plays with your lightsaber.
Oh, without a question, no question about it. I'll show her. I'll let her feel the Force. All right, what's the final question there?
Well, this is a tough question, and I'm not sure we can answer this one, but
We'll try.
we will try. But imagine yourself, Quincy. You're at the in the middle of a zombie apocalypse.
A Domia.
Zombie apocalypse.
What is a zombie?
You know, when a zombie's trying to eat you? You know, like in a horror film? Or, Jeff, give an example. Describe for the audience.
A zombie
Yeah.
apocalypse would be when the world is mostly taken over by zombies, and there is a small group of people as survivors. That's a zombie apocalypse.
So imagine for a moment, Quincy, that the world is ending. There are zombies trying to eat you. Where would you go to remain safe? What would your safe place be in the middle of a zombie apocalypse?
Where would this zombie apocalypse? Could it be around here? Is it?
Could be anywhere, but where do you think you'd stand the highest chance of surviving the longest? And Jeff, if you want to take this question first, I think that's okay.
I suppose the
So just
nearest
speak
shelter, somewhere indoors, get away from it. Can you kill this zombie apocalypse?
I suppose you wouldn't be able to stop the
You can't kill it.
No.
Then I would run to the nearest shelter and call someone who can kill it.
You can't call anybody. There's no phone service anymore. It's
It's the end of the world. Nothing works anymore. Every man for himself. Where do you go?
The nearest indoor shelter, home or...
Well,
Yeah, you've seen the movie Red Dawn, right? Wolverine.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
Where you been for
it's
30,
Red
40
Dawn
years?
only
I
with
can't
zombies.
believe that.
So
Well-
yeah, it's like the movie Red Dawn only with zombies. But all right. To start you off, I mean, I'm a South Boston guy. I would have to say Castle Island in South Boston. I mean, I would just because it's close to the ocean, and there'd be lookout towers. That's what they were. Castle Island was built for, a lookout tower on the hill, and you would be able to see the zombies coming. You'd be able to receive supplies from the ocean.
but
in
from
Castle-
who? Who's delivering them? There's
And
a
what
zombie
what kind of
apocalypse.
supplies?
Other
If you can't
survivors, I
kill
would
this
imagine.
zombie...
But zombies can't swim, so you could go a little bit beyond the island, and
Well, that's
and-
only in the world of The Walking Dead. Who knows if we're real
How
swamp?
about a flamethrower? Could you kill him with a flamethrower?
You know you can't.
No, you have to shoot. Like the only way to kill a zombie is to destroy their brain, shoot them in the head.
So you have nothing to worry about, Quince.
Max Brooks rules, I believe. Yes.
All right, so that's where you're going to go, Jeff. You're going to go to Castle Island. in South
Castle
Boston.
Island in South Boston is going to be my safe place. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the excellent answer. I would agree that is a fine place to go. But for me personally, if I was choosing where to go, I'd have to say I'd go into the underground bunker at an undisclosed location, which I'm not going to share with any of you.
Underground.
That's right, underground.
How do you go about going underground? You're like...
It's secret. That's why I can't tell you.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck. I hope these zombies don't come.
Me too.
All right. I got you guys all beat.
What do you have?
All right. I'm going over to Russia, right? And I'm going to steal one of those Russian spaceships that they have, the rockets. And I'm going up to that space satellite station that's floating around Earth.
The International Space Station?
Exactly. I'm heading up there, and I'm just going to eat popcorn and watch the zombie apocalypse from 3 miles up. They ain't getting me there.
That could be a good movie.
There you go. Called Space Zombie or something.
You're going to do that? You're actually...
But what happens if part of the crew turns into a zombie up while you're in the ship?
I opened the door and kicked them out. They're floating away in space. Not my problem anymore.
Oh,
See?
well, I can't resist this, but if you're ever going to make a trip to do that, see how the one particular Russian, and I take it,
Who's
Yeah.
that?
Ivan
you will
Drago.
lose. Yeah, you will lose.
Well, why would I want to hang with Aaron?
No, just say a quick hi.
Oh, before I steal their spaceship rockets, I'm going to say
No,
hi to
after,
Ivan.
because that way you get a chance to run away.
Give him, give
There
him
is nothing good about Ivan Drago.
the best regards from Quincy Briscoe.
I'll do that. I'll do that just for you.
He killed Apollo. There's nothing good about Drago.
And there's a space tie in there, Apollo.
True.
Yeah, but Paulo had guts enough to go take on Ivan Drago.
Apollo was an egotistical scumbag who wanted the limelight back and got his ass kicked and handed to him in about 3 seconds.
Yeah,
You ever notice Apollo never won anything other than that split decision in Rocky 1? He never won any of these fights, like knocking anybody out.
he had the heart.
Well, obviously, and it stopped because he died.
Well, he was the reigning champion, was he not? So he won a lot of fights, perhaps.
But then he got his ass kicked by a ham and egg or nobody.
Well, the man was on steroids.
Who was on steroids?
Well, are we talking about Drago or Rocky?
I'm
Who are we
talking about Rocky.
Oh. Well, he
mean,
was on the raw egg diet.
He
if
was
I
on the raw
recall.
egg diet, the cholesterol diet.
But
He wasn't vegan.
And Ivan, he was naturally trained.
He wasn't naturally trained. He had needles being put in his arm.
Well, I would say Rocky was naturally trained in the fourth one. He went the natural Russian, whatever you
That's
call
true. He
that.
climbed a mountain. And what did he scream at the top of the mountain?
Drago! Drago! Drago!
Okay, there you go. Eardrums around the world have just exploded. Unbelievable. Well, I think that wraps it up for this week's edition of Milk and Cashews out there. Wonderful questions. If you have any more questions you'd like to send in to Quincy Briscoe, send them to us on our Twitter page, which is at Milk and Cashews. And Quincy, you have anything to say for the fans out there?
As usual, thank you for watching Milk and Cashews. And have a safe ride home. Drive carefully. And we hope to have you again soon. You can keep your bag of chips. I'm not amused. I'm riding shotgun with milk and cashews.